Hi Leo, today is December 11th and we couldn't have a lesson today because your brother was not feeling well. So I'm recording everything that we would have done today, and I'm going to give you some ideas and suggestions so that you can continue to work. We have a musicale this Monday, and so we'll go through all the pieces that I would like you to play for the musicale. So let's get started. So we start with technique first, and you should always start with that at the piano. So we're going to do what's called a C major scale. Now you know this one, but I really want to show you the fingering today for the right hand. And this is something you want to get really good at when it becomes an automatic event. So I find any C is fine, but I find the C in front of my right hand, I'm using rounded fingers, and I am going to make a beautiful sound as I make my C scale. And I don't want it to be fast either. The fingering is the most important part right now. And I want to make sure I have enough space under my hand so that I can move my thumb under. So put your hand on the piano like me, with this almost like a spidery feeling that you're on the very tips of your fingers. If you find yourself pressing down and you get this look of this pressing down, you're pressing too hard and you're getting a knuckle that is collapsed. And we want to move the key down so it is a rounded finger like this. All right, so now I'm going to play this scale, and I am going to show you how to move the thumb. So the thumb plays on the side, and if you look, the thumb is playing so that it is on its perch. So that's right here. Not here, but here, and not here. So this is the playing surface of the thumb. Again, if you're playing here, which I see a lot of people do, your whole hand will collapse and the thumb and the wrist comes down. So I want to be on the perch. One idea is to take a pencil and to see if you can put a pencil underneath your thumb as you're playing. See, I can put that thumb, but if I do this, I can't put a thumb underneath, and if I do this is too high. So it's a perched thumb. Then I play finger two. Now finger two is round, and the thumb can go underneath there, but we're not there yet. Now the thumb slithers all the way over to the F. Then the hand moves as one unit to finish the scale. I'm going to go back down. When I get to my thumb, I now use this to move my hand over, and I move finger 2 and 3 over to these two notes so that when I play them alone, so I'll play the whole thing. Play along with me. 1, 2, 3, play. Thumb under. I'm going to repeat the top C. My fingers are rounded. Fingers 2 and 3 cross over, and the thumb passes through. All right, now let's do the left hand. The left hand is the same thing in reverse. So I always suggest going down first, because when I get to the third finger, it's nice and rounded. The thumb passes through. And I'll repeat it. And I come across. I also would like you to do what's called a contrary motion scale. So my hands are mirrors of each other. And so when we go contrary, means we're going up opposite each other. But what's interesting when we do that, the fingering is the same. So let me show you that. Thumbs play the C together. Thumb passes under. And when I come back down, or towards each other, the 3s and 2s pass over. When you're practicing a scale like this, I recommend you practice it at least 3 times a day. Now, another thing I'd like you to look at and practice is playing your chords. Do, mi, so. We call that a C major chord. It's also called a 1 chord. So you should get used to both names. Here comes what we call the 4 chord. Do, fa, la. Notice my thumb moved over to play that chord. I'm going to go back to the 1 chord. Now I'm going to go to the 5/7 chord with the pinky moving over to the B, the F, and the G, and then back to the 1 chord. We see these chords all the time, and so we should practice these. So I'll do it again. 1 chord, thumb moves over, 4 chord, back to the 1 chord. You may just want to practice that for a while until you can do this easily. And then 1 chord, go to the 5/7 chord. Notice the pinky went out this time. And 1 chord. The right hand is the same sound, different fingers. Here's the 1 chord. When I go to the 4 chord, I move finger 3 and 5 over. And back to the 1 chord. You could practice going back and forth between these two. Okay, here comes the 1 chord and the 5/7. Notice this time the thumb moved out to reach that note. And back. Good. Now I'm going to create an Alberti bass, and we need this for the piece that we're going to move into, which is the Looking Glass River on page 12. So I take the C major chord and I play what I call the bottom top, middle top. This is called a piano accompaniment, or Alberti bass. And I think we spoke about how Alberti was a name of a composer, and this is the only thing he's famous for, creating this special bass. And you should take the C chord and practice playing an Alberti bass. Bottom top, middle top. So you may want to stop the this video right now and practice this, or you can keep it going and play along with me. Here we go. 1, 2, play with me. Bottom top, middle top, bottom top, middle top. All right. We do that with the right hand too. Bottom top, middle top. Now I can do this in every chord. So here's the 1 chord, Alberti bass, twice. Here comes it in the 4 chord, back to the 1 chord, over to the 5/7 chord, and back to the 1 chord. Here comes the right hand. Ready, join me. 1 chord, 4 chord, 1 chord, 5/7, back to the 1 chord. All right, now I'm going to move a little faster. I'm just going to quickly review the G major scale as well. So what's the difference? Well, it starts on a G. And also, to get the sound, I can't use all white keys because it won't sound right. So I have to adjust the sound. So far it sounds good. Same fingering. And now this note doesn't sound right, so I adjust it and put it on to F sharp. G major has an F sharp note in it to make it sound right. And there's the fingering. So pause the recording and try your own G major scale. Then come back. Okay, now I'm going to do the left hand. This time I'm starting from the bottom. So I came all the way up to the thumb. Now we don't want to ever do that because that's just not comfortable. When I get to my thumb, then I can cross over, and I have to remember to go to the F sharp. So if you're staying out here, you're not going to reach it. So as you're coming up the G scale, walk towards the F sharp. And that way you'll get a smoother scale. So stop the recording and play the left hand. All right, now we want to move one little step forward and to play the 1 chord in G, the 4 chord in G. Notice the same look, 1 chord. And when we do the 5/7, we have to slide in for the F sharp, because as we know, it's not in. This is in the key. Here's the right hand. And yes, practice Alberti Bass. Back to the 1 chord, to the 5, 7, back to the 1, right hand, to the 4 chord, to the 1 chord, to the 5, 7, back to the 1. Good. I'm not doing the F scale today because I think that the F scale should be taught later when you have more, really know these two scales. You should be able to play them without thinking and without mistake the first time. So I hear so many people, oops, no, you should be able to get right up and down. So that's our attention to technique. Now the other thing we were spending a little time was looking at open fifths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and open sixths. I'm not going to spend time on that now. I want to get into our Musicale pieces. So the first piece that you're going to play is the Little March. So you haven't done so, go play it. Now I'm going to play it for you right now so you can just make sure that everything sounds good. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat it. Could you figure this out in the key of G? Watch what happens. The thumb starts on G and the thumb starts on G. Look how to use that F sharp. You could then go back to C, which is kind of neat. So you've been playing this piece for a while, so I have no worries that you'll have it together and it should be really, really good. So I'm just going to move right along. So we skipped over court dance and we went to the court dance rock version. Do you remember how we decided that that was the piece you wanted to do? So, and I asked for it hands together. So what I'm going to do right now is play the hands separately so you can watch and work on it. So I'm going to play it, and then when I repeat it, I'll give you a chance to play with me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 1, 2, 2, rest. Join me. 2, 2, 2, 1. Rest. Now, if you're finding it too hard to follow along with me, then go right to Piano Marvel. It's all set up for you. I just think it's good that you're hearing it from my perspective. All right, here comes the left part. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and staccato. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 5. Rest and chord. There's that one chord that you've been working. Do it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, chord. Okay, I'm going to play it 3 times, first slowly, then medium, and full speed. I did that wrong. I'll do it again. See how they have to go together, and then I let go. Listen working on this, you should be able to play it hands together 2 times in a row. This is on Piano Marvel, so stop this CD, go over and start and find it on Piano Marvel and start getting these hands together. It's the best way and the fastest way you're going to learn this. Go step by step so that you can get this really well. Okay, so you got that first part. Here comes the second part. Did I tell you, don't try to play through the whole piece because that's overwhelming. I did the first part and got that well nice as I can do on Piano Marvel. Now I'm going to measure 9 to the end. Watch how I'm using the 4 chord. And I want to be able to move quickly. And then we move over to the D minor. And look at how it moves the same from that 1 chord look to the 4 chord back to the beginning. So all that chord warm-up is going to help this part. Again, use Piano Marvel. It's going to make such a difference. All right, so those are the 2 pieces that we were talking about. You also have Boogie Blues. Now, you play that really well, and so I'm not going to go through it right now because I know you just sit down and you'll play it. So for the Musicale, you're going for Little March and Boogie Blues, and you think you could also get Court Dance? Now, to do that, you have to send me a recording so I can hear whether it's ready for the Musicale. So that's your challenge between now and the weekend. All right, the next piece is Looking Glass River, and I want to introduce it to you because I want you to work on it over the holiday, and I think it's a great piece. So it's on page 12 in book 3A, Piano Adventures. You're in the key of C, so I'm doing a C scale, and of course the left hand. This piece is on Piano Marvel, so you really need to go there and learn it there. It's going to be hands separate, and I want you to get that 100% all the way through. Here's how it sounds. That's part 1, and you noticed it played through at the same time. Left hand's doing the Alberti Bass. Now you worked on that earlier, so that hopefully by now you're saying, oh yeah, I've seen that before. Now we worked on the 5/7 chord with the Alberti Bass, but in measure 2, which is the second measure of the piece, it's a little different. It uses a D instead of the B, because it sounds odd otherwise. Listen if I'd use the B. This sounds better. And you got that lovely 6. All right? So you want to make sure that you use this chord and not this chord in Looking Glass River. The right hand is in C position. Notice the thumb is going to move over to the B. That's that note with the line here, and it's underneath. The thumb on there, it says use a light thumb, so be careful that when you get to that B that you don't slam it, but you play it with a gentle thumb. All right, then that note is the start of the scale. Look at the special fingering. Start with finger 2, bring your thumb under, and then play a C scale. So do it again. Starts on the B, which is a crossover. And that happens twice, so I'll go from there. And we have the Alberti Bass underneath. Here comes that altered 5/7 chord. The thumb comes under, and we're done. But don't stop there. Go on. So when you go on to the next part, you're going to see the left hand has been in this position, and it moves to your thumb on middle C. And it moves down stepwise. And then it goes back to the Alberti Bass. All right? Now the right hand accompanies this little motion with an F chord, Alberti Bass. When this moves down a step, this hand moves down a step. I go down again, and I'm back to C position, and I'm back to the beginning section. Well, you tell me, it sounds like the ending of A. And so you've already learned that part. This is on Piano Marvel, and yes, you should go and use it. All right, that's plenty to do. Now, we're not going to get the Tin Soldier ready in time for the Musicale. I mean, I would love to, but we would need to work together, and it's really hard to work on a recording. So therefore, I'm going to put that on postponement, and we'll get it start fresh when you come back in January. Did you know that we don't have another lesson before January? All right, so what you're working on this week would be the Little March, which you know, the Boogie Blues, which you know well, and the Court Dance, which you're going to send a recording of, hands together. You can use Piano Marvel as you're doing it, that's fine. And you're starting to learn Looking Glass River. I'm going to send you a reminder of these things, and hopefully this recording will help you get started, and at the very least will show you the correct hand positions for these pieces. Now, do not catch your brother's cold or whatever he has, and I look forward to seeing you Monday night at 7 o'clock ready to play. And bring cookies.